Jolan Tru Centurions, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates Mod. I'm Captain Tarek of the heavy cruiser RS Gigas, as we continue our campaign against the Romulan Star Kingdom. And last time, we managed to secure our way station, our little lighthouse in the dark, the planet of 1117, which will be our starting off point to cross the entire Klingon Empire to actually fight the Hydrons. So, without further... Actually, did we ever change our ship? We did. Alright, we're in a Super Hawk. So, without further ado, let us set out into space and see if we can't actually cause a little bit of havoc. We're just going to rush immediately on over as fast as we can, or, you know, get stuck in a diplomatic delivery. I suppose that's all right. After all, if we deliver our diplomats to the Klingons, then good things should hopefully happen. Maybe they'll actually give me the ability to use their starbases. That's not gonna happen. Alright, the brand new Gigas, the first time using our Super Hawk. It is equipped with 2 Fs and 2 S-type plasma torpedoes, so somewhat similar to our last vessel. We did have an opportunity to grab a ship which would have had a single R and 2 Fs, but the 2 S's, well, they grant us more firepower, and so I wanted to lean a little bit more heavily on that. Now, it is slightly shorter ranged than had we taken our R-type plasma torpedo, but I feel it's a reasonable thing to have exchanged. Anyway, we are being escorted today by the IKV Devastator, the Klingons giving us a personal transport, and apparently there are no enemies on the map. Interesting. So we can take this opportunity just to zip on along, although we do realize that our maximum speed has increased since our last vessel, despite having more firepower, which is always a nice little pickup. Pardon me. We are going to reinforce the forward shield to the maximum value that we possibly can. I'm going to check to see if the music's not a little bit too loud, because it kind of feels like it is. Just a little bit. Alright, there we go. So, apparently there's nothing on the map. So if there's nothing on the map, then maximize the speed of time and let's just get rolling. So we are able to travel at a speed of 18, although I anticipate that will drop down to a speed of probably 14 once our plasma torpedoes are set to enveloping mode. Might not quite be that bad, but you never know. So we're just going to rush right on to the planet itself, drop off our peoples, and then leave, because I anticipate that it's not actually going to give it to me for free. We have 2.5 points of power if we just want to sprint full out. This is the first of, well, the first Romulan design that we've gotten. So we never actually drove any of the old school Romulan vessels. We immediately started in a Klingon build ship, but then this is the first of the new build Romulan designs with advanced Romulan technology. And so they're fast and efficient and quite powerful. Now this one is built more along the lines of the, didn't want to not select the planet. This one is built much more along the lines of the Klingon D7s that we had been using. It has multiple plasma torpedoes arranged in a quad setup, which is very common at this point that we've noticed. So not wholly Romulan with massive plasma torpedoes, but the design itself is quite nice. And we're just going to slip away, and I think that we now need to leave the planet behind, otherwise it will not properly associate that things have happened properly. So the enemy did not exist at all for this mission. They did not even dare to arrive to challenge us, thus demonstrating the power of the Gigas. So quite a lot of firepower in this ship, actually. So it's quite nice. It's a very comfortable medium-era ship, which will probably serve us quite well up until maybe either the light era or until we hop into dreadnoughts. And frankly, we're right around the corner from getting dreadnoughts. I mean, we're able to take any mission we kind of really want, and we've been able to do that since, well, the very first ship we ever got. We're able to siege out with even destroyers, which is wonderful. So that'll be like 300 prestige? No, only 100, because we didn't have to fight anybody and neutralize the tile. Oh, that just feels like evil to do to an ally, but you know what? I'm going to take it. We're going to pop down here to a base down here. We're not going to take the base assault because we want to capture the location. I believe it'll require 2, maybe 3 missions in order to actually steal. If we can steal this, this will be the start of our grand invasion. Let's... Oh, you're a Paladin Dreadnought. How fast can I go while enveloping overload everything? We're about to find out. So that over there is a Paladin Dreadnought, which I am somewhat concerned about. It's a fairly decent ship. I mean, it's not overpoweringly amazing, but it's still fairly good, especially for this era of Dreadnought. I believe we were in a Paladin during our time playing as the Hydrons, but yeah, as you see, PAL+, so it is a refitted and improved version of the ship. Could be quite dangerous for us to engage too directly, although, if we manage to draw things out, it could work to our favor. That's the real question, though. I'm going to bob and weave a little bit to sort of figure out how exactly we want to engage this. I believe I was about to say I believe that he's light on fighters, but then he went ahead and deployed a whole bunch of things. Luckily for me, he's captained by an idiot who decided to use fusion cannons at a range of, well, 20. Which, while technically you can do that, it comes down to a question of why would you want to. Okay, we are conducting our census sweep now. And fire the suitors. Shut off the deep scan, we do no longer need it. Are you going to react? He did, lovely. Technically, we do not need to kill him. Plasma torpedoes. Fire, fire, slow down the speed of time because I've got to plan you. You're going to get this and this. And they've opened fire, attempting to reduce the power of the incoming plasma torpedoes. But they're all going to die quite badly. Phasers have opened fire before I kind of wanted them to, but that'll be just fine. It's just you left. So back to normal time. And, oh, there's still 2 of them left. We didn't kill everybody. There's a Wild Weasel shuttle. Let's leave. No, we could fight this. I think we can. I kind of want to try. He's only, well, he's only got 4 Hellbores and 6 fusions. Or is it 4? Oh, it's only 4 fusions. So if I keep the range open and avoid the Hellbores, I might be able to get a lot of work done. Did you call your fighters back? You did. But then again, those Hellbores, man. Yeah, let's make a run for it. Let's get on out of here. We have successfully completed our mission. Please stop chasing me. Ooh, aft shields are down. That is especially bad. Because I can't really afford to take too much damage. He is accelerating to attempt to keep up with us, but if I can get my stern shields back, I'll be fine. Just sort of doing a steadily expanding radius around him. Alright, come on. Where's the nearest map edge? Unfortunately, he's probably going to be able to just continue, blink at me like so. He's slowly getting through my armor. So this is especially not good. So let me get a little bit of electronic countermeasure going on. Hopefully he will just start missing me all the time with those. He's not at full speed just yet. I'm going to task all power to the electronic countermeasure to provide a little bit of assistance. Did we take any actual damage? Some. We're going to stabilize the warp core and see if we can't just keep everything under control. He's not shooting at me anymore, which is great. But he is now chasing me at maximum speed. We will be able to successfully escape, thus completing our mission. Had we stuck around to fight, we might have been able to win, but it also probably would have been incredibly painful. And so we kind of want to avoid that. Although 2 missions in a row where we don't really, fight anybody, probably not exactly what we want to do. Because we need prestige and, power and destruction in the area. 320 is our reward. Yeah, that caused no Empire defense damage whatsoever. And a surprise reversed, because why not? It's just going to keep dragging us through all the semi-combat missions. As long as we can avoid a base assault, I'm okay with that, because we need to capture it intact. That's the problem. So we were able to go quite quickly, despite setting plasma torpedoes to enveloping mode, which seems to indicate that it's not that huge of a power draw on this vessel. We're doing what? Yeah, we're doing like 16, so we only lost 2 points of power for overloading S-type plasma torpedoes? That seems really good. We do need, of course, to set up our phaser setup, and also to increase our speed even more, because we have charged most of the ship. So we need to set up all of the phasers, including the ones hidden in the center. Set those to 7 phaser 1s, and then that's all of our plasmas, and then I want heavy... Ooh, gotta slow down for just a moment as I finish setting up. So S's will be on 3, and the light F's will be on 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Lovely. Alright, let's go kill some Federation vessels. Hello, buddies. You probably, well, showed up to the wrong area. So, let's increase the speed of the ship to the maximum that we can manage, and we will conduct our bombardment. So 3, engage. They're unable to defend themselves, although the heavy war destroyers already being out is kind of terrifying, actually. Phasers. Good, the phasers were enough to complete it. An FLGR or an FDR, you're actually more powerful, aren't you? Only barely, but yeah, you are. So we're going to save our F-type plasma torpedoes as we cycle in around. The F-type plasma torpedoes don't actually take any power to overload because they can't overload, which works out quite nicely, actually. So all of our plasma torpedoes, as we hit the range of 5, so they'll fire at maximum damage. And then just all weapon select. From this moment on, we're just firing every chance that we get the opportunity to. Quite a bit of damage being caused there. He's almost dead, but not quite. That's going to keep him alive for a little while longer. Okay, he's taken care of. You're somewhat dangerous. You're a police ship, and you are an FLG+. So, basically the same vessel, just slightly more stuff. Fire all weapons. That takes you down, and we come over here for this FLGR, because the police ships are not all that dangerous, let's be honest with ourselves. They're not particularly scary. Although, you know, this TOS Intrepid has always kind of amused me. Just coming around, hit with a couple more phasers, make sure that he understands that he's loved, and so that we can annihilate him completely. There we go. On to the police vessel. Hello, you're just in the wrong area of space at exactly the wrong time. I'm going to start opening fire, hurting him, slow down, so I can open fire more plasma torpedoes, and that will destroy the entire group. Lovely. So starting to cause a bit of dent in enemy territory. Actually, no, I think this was the neutral zone. That's not a big deal. Starting to cause a damage in enemy space. We're going to just go with that one, because technically neutrals are not our friends. And really, is anybody a friend with the Romulans? We have managed to capture a tile. Holding action, so another mission where we don't have to fight, but if we don't fight, we don't get the awesome reward of, you know, securing tile control. Unfortunately, we're kind of outnumbered and outgunned. We've got 2 really powerful heavy cruisers and a dreadnought, and it's just us and a D5. So really, the game is just trying to tell us that violence solves nothing, and we shouldn't try ever. Because we're going to say yellow alert. There's no possible reason why we would want to actually try and fight this. We would not win. This is not a case of if you're extra cheeky, you can probably pull it off. No, this is a case of you're done for, don't try, just get on out of there as quick as you can. So what the plan will be, of course, is maximum electronic countermeasure, although I don't think I can actually maintain a maximum electronic countermeasure. Yeah, we've got 6 points called for it. Are we actually going to get all 6 points of power? And we have 0.5 points of power left to go. Luckily for us, that is giving us a fairly significant defense shift, which is preventing the enemy from being actually accurate, except for there. And the fighters trying to ward us away, starting to do a fairly good job, and they got through my shields, and they're through our armor as well. So if we had juked a little bit further away, we might have been able to pull it off, but we're just going to rush right into the listening post, because that's where it's safe to be with the mission completion. Excellent. Yeah, we're being chased by way too much firepower. This is not something you duel with. I mean, I might be able to take this paladin on. I probably should have tried to take the paladin on, because had we focused on him and been a little bit more clever about things, probably could have done a lot of damage to him. That initial fighter group was quite dangerous, though. 350 prestige is our reward for job well done, and Empire defense damage was dealt. We're up to 5,004. Unfortunately, it's another diplomatic delivery, because apparently we need to maintain relations with the empty space that we have recently captured. I'm sure that's exactly how it works. Battle alert and increase speed. We have a heavy cruiser off in the distance. This could be an opportunity for us to start limiting the enemy's capabilities. We'll increase our speed to our cruising speed and full power to the forward shield. We are being escorted again by the D5, so it's a good thing that we actually kept him around. Otherwise, well, he'd be dead and we'd have no friends whatsoever on this one, and that would be kind of sad. We want to maintain as many people alive as we possibly can. If worse comes to worse, we can always avoid this encounter entirely. We have a cloaking device that while it takes about half of the ship's energy reserves, it still will allow us to do things. So just bobble and weave and wait. We need to wait for our plasma torpedoes to be ready. We also probably should start a tractor beam, although if he's got fighters, it's going to be completely superfluous. He does have fighters. Great. He's got lots of fighters, too. Okay, then the obvious solution is to let the Vengeance work with us. It is at relatively close range, so I'm going to slow way down, start to give myself a lot of forward shield power. Over 20, that'll do quite nicely. Plasma torpedoes are ready to rock and roll when they hit. It's going to be like a truck. Don't you go away from me. And tractor beam active, and now all plasma torpedoes. He has no more shield. Well, no, actually his shield's maintained quite heavily, but we have now taken care of that. He's taken quite a lot of damage. I'm going to let him keep pushing me. I was going to let him keep pushing me. Oh, fighters, do your thing, fighters! Okay, interesting. Ooh.
Tractor defense set.
Disappear right now. Ha ha ha, we ducked underneath just in time. The fighters were completely useless against us. And you know what, honestly, I think at this point the Avenger could probably destroy the palace without too much trouble. And as long as those fighters stick by me, ooh, don't flash cube me. As long as those fighters stick by me and continue to try and shoot at me, you know, completely uselessly, then I think the Vengeance will be able to take him on. And that would be lovely. So we're going to slowly start to turn. Are we charging our plasma torpedoes? We are. That is phenomenal. So we are overload charging our plasma torpedoes still, so we could come out of space. And the Klingon fighters starting to intercept their opposite numbers. The two vessels dueling it out in their combat air patrols. And I'm just going to try and keep your attention for a little while longer. Let my buddy do his job. Really, he's doing a fantastic job. Aside from dropping his shields to drop mines, which I think is not the most brilliant plan, especially with me skulking in the area, I'd rather not get shot by, friendly mines. And it looks like he's just going to charge right through. He doesn't have much of a choice at this point. Dropping mines on each other, and at some point I want to decloak, probably sometime soon, especially since I almost have things prepared. Although these fighters are, of course, quite dangerous and I don't want to deal with them. I'm very surprised he doesn't have an AMD. It would be something that I would anticipate a Klingon vessel would hold, but not in this case, it would appear. This fighter's starting to do quite a bit of damage, while these fighters, the Hunter Killer's just hanging out on top of me. Oh, they did it. They fired at me. And time for us to deliver the killing blow. As is the Romulan way. So we waited for the perfect moment to strike a count of cloak and annihilated our enemy. It's exactly how you're supposed to do things. Yellow alert, so that we can maximize the speed of the ship. We're just going to zip on over here to this planet and deliver Mr. Diplomat. And hopefully he will have everything sorted out by the time we return. Or hopefully we'll never have to return. We'll just take the tile next turn. That would be brilliant. So we just need to cruise on along in here, and hopefully that also means that there won't be as much defense around the planet now that we've managed to annihilate one of those heavy cruisers. And getting close to these rings is always creepy. Start to slow down speed. Maybe I'm being a little bit paranoid about crashing into things. It's just that this run's been going so well. I just anticipate eventually the game is just going to annihilate my ship for the sake of annihilating my ship. So we just want to be very extra careful about that. 876 5.9 is right there. I'll stop. Lovely, and we shall deliver Mr. Diplomat. I don't know how he got on my ship. It is a bit of a problem for me trying to square that up, because I wasn't aware that we're actually under resupply from anybody. Namely because I'm not getting any stuff to fix the ship. We have no armor at this point. We spent it all running away from dreadnoughts, which is going to suck a little bit once we actually get into a full-on battle. 280 prestige is our reward. Pop back over here. It's a mission, and it's a base assault. I suppose I have to take it. I mean, it's an accept or reject, although I do kind of anticipate we will be running away from this one unless we're very lucky. We might be lucky. We have a C8 dreadnought on our side, and we're squaring off against an IRC. Not quite sure where that ranks on the firepower rating, but I'm going to hide over by the Crusher. Increase the speed of time, that way we can actually get things underway at some reasonable pace, and maximize the forward reinforcements. So I'm not quite sure what kind of starbase that was off in the distance, and I worry that it was a super starbase. If it was, then we can't beat that. Although a DG, so two heavy cruisers? Alright. We're just going to stick by our buddy over here. You can actually maintain that speed of 16, so we're going to try. Crusher, no, you stay in front. You fight them first. This is your job. My job is to support you in your efforts, not to fight for you. Okay, they both deployed their weapons. So your Hellbore's first, and I'm willing to bet that the other one, well, I was up. That's two. It's going to go point blank range, which is not a brilliant idea against enemy vessels, or at least not enemy vessels. Oh, is that a full stop? Oh, that's a shame. Well, I'm not really in a position to do anything about this, so we're going to coast down in speed and wait for that thing to fade away, because, yeah, we can't do much about it now. Fire! And cloak. And increase our speed to 4. And he's taking quite the hit, which is great. What are you at? You are 4 Hellbores, so he is a little bit more powerful than you. He's got an additional couple of fusion cannons. He's going to bomb himself doing that. More missiles are incoming. Although I anticipate he should be able to run away from them without too much trouble. I want to get back over to the C8. That way he can cover me while I try and hide in cloak. I would be able to pick up a little bit more speed. We did a fairly good job of defending against most of that. And now they're trying to fire at me. I need that C8 to return to battle. Yeah, what are you? You're BTSFR. I'm not quite sure where that ranks in the firepower scale, but I would like you to come back here, Crusher. I don't want to be surrounded by Hydran vessels. Yeah, because that can happen. They're a little bit closer to me than I'd otherwise prefer. So I kind of need the Crusher to return so that I can hide more effectively. Can I get 2 electronic countermeasures, please? Thank you. Just give me everything you've got. Because at this point, I need to be very, very hidden. So electronic countermeasure will support that a little bit. Where are you going? Get back over here. I have gift-wrapped you the hatchet. There is no easier time you can have with this guy. Oh god, we're gonna get killed because this guy refuses to engage. He's cycling his phasers. Am I still charging this? I'm not. I'd like to, but I can't. So apparently the C8 Crusher is being extraordinarily defensive, I suppose would be the word.
Rapid maneuvering.
I'm going to come at a cloak now. Spread out the damage. Hurt myself a lot doing that. But you know what? I can do that and pop back in a cloak. So I've managed to give him a nice stiff punch to the face to rip out most of his shields. At this point, if the Crusher can't handle this, we've got a serious problem. Because I have gift-wrapped him the victory, and he's just not kind of taking it. Got hit by yet another shot from a Hellbore. Hellbores are particularly not affected by defense shifts. They're sort of the opposite of photon torpedoes. Okay, the hatchet's down, now it's just the fort. And the fort is just as vulnerable and weak as the other vessel that I gave to you. It's going to fire with everything he's got, nailing the front of the Crusher. The Crusher's not exactly having a great day at this point. We may have to pull away from this one. I'm not positive that we'll be able to win in the aftermath of fighting these two heavy cruisers. They were quite well equipped, I have to give them credit for that. So we're fully repaired and pretty much ready to go. Well, they could fix up some transporters, but that's okay. We're not going to bother with that. He's lost one of his Gatling phasers. He still has two of his phaser ones, but it's the Hellbore siege weapons that he's designed to work with. A bunch of missiles to his face, but Gatling phaser took out some of them. Tractor beams? Well, he's going to take out with his own mines, but there's not much left in this vessel. Oh, he's down to a speed of 3, so yeah, those mines aren't going to be particularly effective at all. We're going to start opening fire from ultimate long range with our phasers. 18 damage, despite the range. And then plasma torpedoes, we'll start engaging with our smaller ones. Because I anticipate he's going to die very quickly. If these plasma torpedoes don't get him, these missiles definitely will. And destroyed. Lovely. Alright, so now we've got a much bigger, much more dangerous thing to take on. And I'm not certain that we can. We may end up just turning around and going home. Because what's about to come at us is going to be very, very, very painful, I anticipate. Unless I read it wrong. But it looks very special and very large. So, are you incredibly weak? Yes, you are. Okay, let's take him. We've got him. I mean, he's got Hellbores, which is going to suck, but he's not super dangerous. We need more power. Give me more power. Now, he does, of course, have his ability to basically totally ignore our incoming plasma torpedoes thanks to his use of Wild Weasel shuttles, but hopefully he'll fire a whole bunch of missiles at him and that'll encourage him to do something stupid. Well, not stupid, it would be actually intelligent to defend himself. Although I see the number of Gatling phases and no, it would be quite stupid. Getting anywhere near this thing is a death sentence. 2, 4, 6 Gatling phasers. That's 24 phaser 3 shots. That's an insane amount of damage that it can deal out at point blank range, which I anticipate the Crusher's gonna get to point blank range. Okay. Crusher's not exactly having the best of days. I kind of need the Crusher to wipe out these fighters, because if he does, then we'll be able to basically cloak siege him, which is my plan. So here is the way we're going to do this, I think. Start to slow down for one, because I'm going to need a lot of defense going on in here. I do need to get into F-type plasma torpedo range, and that's gonna suck. Alright, we're in F-type plasma torpedo range as of now, barely, but we're there. Need a little bit more distance here. I need to be within a range of 12. And the reason why is because I have to be able to bait out incoming fire. Well, not incoming fire. I have to be able to bait out a Wild Weasel shuttle. So, get me to 12. Actually, let's see what happens when he does this. Single S-type pseudo-torpedo. Do you respond appropriately? Or do you ignore it? Because if you ignore it, then I'm going to just systematically fire them one at a time to weaken you bit by... Nope, he reacted to it. He absolutely reacted to it. Okay. I'm within my range of 12, so I can now fire F-type plasma torpedoes and have a reasonable chance of them actually doing something. 21 points of power in the forward shield. Holy crap. That's quite nice, actually. Kind of hoping that he shoots. Because if he can shoot at me, then I can do something about it and I can fire immediately. No? You're not going to? You're going to be intelligent about this? Yeah, it looks like he's being intelligent about it. Give me within a range of 12 and I'll have a really good time. Slowly bring our shields back online. We have to be very careful about this starbase. A foolish maneuver will get us killed. We are within a range of 10. Alright, I'll stop. We're not going to get any closer than this. We're gonna disappear. We're gonna not be here. You're not allowed to shoot at me. At least not effectively, you're not. So defense shift to 0. How are you really putting he is putting 6 points of power into the electronic countermeasure. So I'm just gonna sit here, and he's not gonna do anything until after that gets outside of our range. But this gives us time to plan. And by plan, I mean just chill. There's nothing I can do about this at the moment. I have to wait. Although I can free up power. If I'm not allowed to use it, I may as well get some defenses back. Aha! Is that shuttle... It takes the shuttle forever to actually disappear. Seriously? You're at a range of 40, man! You're not actually allowed to do anything supporting-wise. Well, apparently it can. Is it finally gone? I can't tell. Well, here's the plan. So we're going to fire. Are you kidding me? How? I don't know how to explain this. I don't know how to work with this here. This is a bit ridiculous. How is it still having an effect? I'm fairly positive the wild weasels are only supposed to have an effect within a range of like 40 at most. I think it was closer to like 20 or 10. Oh, okay, it's finally outside of the influence range. Okay, now we can fight. Forward shields are struggling to hold. Unfortunately, I've used... Okay, here's what I can do. So, fire the pseudo. Fire the F. Because that'll ensure that enough firepower is dealt to the wild weasel when it hits. Wait for the attack shift to go away. 3, 2, 1. I hit him with... Are you kidding me? You've got to be kidding me. And the forward shield's down. I kind of don't want to bother with this. Partially because I want to take this thing intact. I will admit that is having a bearing on this, but you know what? This is ridiculous. I don't know how he's fighting still, though. Although I've bought the C8 more than enough time to fix most of his ship, but he doesn't seem to want to actually turn to engage. How many shuttles do you have? That'll be the other important question to ask ourselves. Because if he's only got like 2... He's got like 6, doesn't he? We're going to try and burn him down. We have to. Just have to be intelligent about how we do it. So being at a range of 10 was a little bit too close, so let's make sure that we don't take that much damage again. I don't want to destroy this location. I have to destroy this location. That's the problem. Pop back down. And he did have another wild weasel, but it's not going to last for much longer. Ugh. We're just... Because we have an infinite number of plasma torpedoes. He does not have an infinite number of wild weasels. He will run out eventually. And when he does, then we can just bombard him at our leisure. Unfortunately, we're going to have to actually get him to that point. So this will be fun. Also, as long as this fire is split between us, that's fine. Start to come out of cloak. That's half of it. And... yeah, that's another one. Well, maybe one of them will get through. Oof. Looks like a lot of damage getting caused over there. I'd like to just hang out not in cloak. I would just like to be able to use that. Because that would be easier on me. Not having to constantly duck in and out of cloak. 23 points of power in this. That's one. That's the rest of it. Hey, he didn't... Nah, he didn't defend against the one. Starting to weaken him. He's really starting to weaken him. So he's a little bit more and he'll actually start not... He already has knockout systems. Did you fusion... So, fusion beams have multiple... Oh, he's through. Oh, is he through? Good job there. And I wanted to quit. Not gonna lie, I really wanted to quit. I wanted to just go home and say, I'm not gonna fight this. That's all the plasma I got. And that's his wild weasel. Or not. Apparently he got hit by that, fairly severely. Start to engage with phasers. Let's see if we can't just start knocking off systems. Looks like we have. Alright, so just a little bit more firepower and we've got this thing broken. So, good job, Klingons. Turns out when you bring a Klingon dreadnought into a fight, things can get a lot easier if that means they're not shooting at the Romulans. Good job. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that's not the ideal outcome for how this happened. The ideal outcome would have been just, oh, it's too difficult to do, let's leave. But no, we destroyed it, which neutralized the tile and destroyed the starbase, which means we have to find another one. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Anyway, that's gonna do it for today's episode. I've been Tirak. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see a notification every time I post one of these videos. Press the little bell icon, leave a comment that I'll see you all in the next episode.